everybody, and welcome back to Jerseys with Josh. Today we're continuing our featured collector series, and I'm joined by Jeff Carriere. Jeff, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Josh.
My pleasure. We've been able to chat a little bit, and I know the Senators collectors are a tight group. It's a great fan base. I remember visiting Ottawa and seeing a Senators game way back when it was called the Karlsson Center. Really nice fan memory on a March break. And I know when we touched base on Facebook, your fellow collectors were really excited you were going to come on the show.
Yes, sir.
So how long, Jeff, have you been collecting game-worn jerseys for, and how did you get into it?
I've been collecting since 2019. I started collecting just autographed jerseys dating back to 2005. And then eventually I was able to purchase my first game-used jersey was a Mark Stone from the Global Series when they played the Colorado Avalanche. And then it just kind of grew from there.
Yeah, it always seems to start with one and kind of snowball, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The Senators program is really interesting because they run their own program, right?
Correct. Yeah. So it's managed through the Ottawa Senators team shop. They have great customer support. I've been dealing with Matt and Toby since the get-go, and they kind of helped me achieve getting my collection to where it is. Most of my jerseys were purchased directly. Of course, a lot of the Adidas ones, but more of the older players in the Reebok style have purchased through third-party collectors, mostly through the Ottawa Senators game use jersey group on Facebook.
Very cool. It's a good group. I'm glad to be a part of it. And an added benefit of the Sens running their own program is that the jerseys tend to be a little bit more affordable, right?
Yeah, up to last year, they were just straight sale price. But last year, they started to auction off their bigger name players. And compared to other Canadian teams, they're very affordable for their top players. Even auction prices last year, compared to at least in Habs jerseys, I can't complain at all. And the nice thing is you don't have to worry about that US exchange for all your fellow Canadian collectors as well. So that's always an added bonus.
Yeah, absolutely. Very lucky on that front. And you've got quite a collection, and it goes really even beyond Senators. You've got some pretty big names in the collection. So we'll probably need to do a follow-up video but for today, we're going to be talking pure Senators. So Sens fans, buckle up. We're going to start with your first jersey. It's a Mark Stone.
Well, that one was actually sold. I do have another Mark Stone jersey. I'm just going to flip over my camera. So, all right. So here's the Mark Stone, and this is actually worn from his second season. It was actually worn when he scored his second goal. I did a little bit of research. I initially thought it was his first goal, but it came out that it wasn't. And that is from, jeez.
I think that was his 13-14
Correct.
Right?
Thank you. Yes, sir. 13-14 in the Reebok style. So there's the photo match for it right there. So
super cool. And I know, yeah, you had the Global Series one that you ended up selling. So this was kind of to get another Stone back in the collection, right?
Once I sold that, I kind of had seller's remorse, and I always liked the way that Mark Stone played. And this one became available, and I just snatched it up. And then after that, just did a bit more research, and yeah, found out it was, like I said, his second goal, which is great. He's a great player. Even with the Vegas Golden Knights being their first captain, can't go wrong with him at all. So
agreed. I feel terrible that he's hurt leading up to the playoffs right now. Hope he gets well soon.
Yeah. So
All right, your second jersey is a Drake Batherson.
Drake Batherson from the 2019-2020 season. This is the first year that he switched over to the number 19. And I always liked that third style of jersey. I was able to get a signed photo wearing that same jersey. So that is the third jersey. They only had the one set in that. Typically, they had 2 sets for the home and away, and just the 1 set for the third set of the alternatives, or third, whatever you want to call them. So he only played about 25 games that season. So it was a great purchase before he had a fantastic season last year and up to before he got injured this year. So
Yeah, I love that heritage set. The design on them is
exactly
so cool.
Just if you look close enough, you have all the numbers, and it's just fantastic. They look even better in person. At first, I wasn't a huge fan of it because I like the original style of the black heritage, but once I saw it in person, it's night and day difference. So, and it just kind of grows on you. So
very cool. And right next to that, I can see the Chris Phillips kind of poking, and love that style. I've got one here. This is one of my first retail jerseys from that time I was talking about earlier. So tell us about this Coho Phillips.
So this actually came from Europe. So this one is from the 03-04 season. It was a great pickup. You don't really see many of these older style, especially in the bigger name players. You can't go wrong with Chris Phillips, one of 2 Ottawa Senators to have their names retired. So, of course, the other one being an Elfie. I did have an Elfie in the collection, but had to part ways with him for something bigger. So, yeah.
Totally fair. Yeah. Cool. And next to that, I see a Shabbat jersey right there, kind of poking in the frame.
Yeah, so this is from his second season. This was actually his first All-Star season from his 2018-2019. I was able to get it signed during the Ottawa Senators Fan Fest a couple of years ago. Just a picture of him wearing it as well. Like I said, with the Batherson jersey, I love that style. So that was actually my first heritage jersey that I got, was the Shabbat. That kind of started that collection. So additional to that, I was able to pick up. So I have the trio of the heritage with the MacArthur game used in the cream, Phillips game issued. Unfortunately, he was injured his last season. So, and then the red. So we'll see if they incorporate that with their reverse retro for next season, or who knows what they're going to do.
I guess we'll find out. Yeah, you've got such a cool collection. Let's talk about your Karlsson.
So Karlsson is from the 2012-2013 season, but it was worn in the 2013 playoffs against the Pittsburgh Penguins. I actually got this from a fellow Senators collector from Alberta. I always bugged him. I had the Shabbat. I said, I need the Karlsson to kind of complete the pair, because at the time, that's when Karlsson was still on the team. And it took him about a year, and he finally said, you know what, I'll part with it to you. And then it just landed up in my collection, and just, it's a great fit. It's unfortunate that, he was he got traded, but I mean, they got a good haul in the end. So it's kind of a win-win for the future of the Senators, but back in his prime is exciting hockey to watch him play. So
absolutely, he's a great player. And I also love the community aspect of that in a lot of ways, I feel like we help each other out. When someone's got a jersey we're after, and kind of talk through it. And yeah, you got to be patient sometimes, but it often works out in the end, like it did in this case.
Exactly. So
sweet. And then we've got a Craig Anderson, who I'm loving, by the way, having him on the Sabres this year. He's been super fun to watch. So happy to have stolen him
Yeah.
along the way. But tell us about this cool Anderson jersey.
So I actually had, just like the Mark Stone, I had initially purchased the Global Series and had to part with that to purchase something else. But then I was able to get this from another Sens collector. Neat thing about this, when I was doing some research, this one was from the 2017-2018, has the 100 patch on the side. This is set one. I was actually in attendance. I had season seats for that particular season. So I was actually at this game that he wore this jersey. So that was kind of neat, because this is the only jersey that I can say, you know what, I watched that player wear that, and they played against Toronto in that particular game that I went to, and they actually won 6-3. Although it was a pretty disastrous remaining of the season, but at least as a Sens fan, whenever you can beat Toronto in home ice, that's always a bonus. So.
And you were in the building in a Senators jersey, I imagine.
Yes, sir. Sitting right behind the penalty box, just full of Toronto fans. So it's kind of nice, because it was pretty quiet after the game. So
that's hysterical. And I see it's got the NHL 100 patch, which is one of my favorite patches for sure.
Yeah. And it's always nice having any patch jerseys. It just makes it that much easier to photo match. So.
Yeah, agreed. You know, one of the Ottawa patches is one of my favorite, is when Ottawa had the All-Star game and it's got Parliament kind of poking out. That is, I might add one of those to my collection just for that patch alone.
Yeah, especially in the Black Heritage style. That was a beautiful jersey. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Jeff, you've got an amazing collection. It's been so great to film this with you.
Well, thank you for having me. So, and here's just some other ones, some more patched ones. So we got the Pajot Alfie retirement and the Colin White retirement for Chris Phillips, Norris rookie jersey with the signed photo to go with it, photo matched, and Jason Spezza. You know, it's always great whenever you can, although it's not captain jerseys for Karlsson and Spezza, but it's always good to say, you know what, here's a couple past captains of this team. It's great to have them in the collection, that's for sure.
Yeah, man, it's obvious you're a huge fan. I know a lot of collectors who will be watching this will be drooling over that collection. And like I mentioned early on, that's, you know, Senators is just a part of your collection. You've got a really cool Sakic and an Ovi and a Connor McDavid. So let's definitely chat through those in a future episode.
Okay, fantastic. Look forward to doing that with you. So
cool. Well, if you'd like to follow Jeff on Instagram, folks, you can do so at Jeff Carriere Jerseys, no dashes. And if you'd like to be featured on the show, I'd love to chat with you. Feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. My handle is @JerseysJosh. And that'll do it for today. So please hit the thumbs up if you like the video. Also, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I still get excited for every single subscriber we get. We're at 33 as of the filming of this today. So thanks everyone for watching, and enjoy the hobby.